If you find yourself with a lot of extra time at home these days, looking for something to do with the family, there's a lot of puzzles out there, and you can see some of them here on the side. You can see this big moose here behind me. There's some puzzles that are shaped like a cutout. There is puzzles like this one here where you make the puzzle and then it's like a find it thing where you got to find different stuff on the puzzle. There's some of these that I really like and actually are quite hard, but there are these 3D jigsaw puzzles that you put together and it makes like a big building or other landmark of some kind. There's stuff for kids, so there's some of them that are a little smaller, 25 piece, something for your smaller children to enjoy. And then you go from that all the way over here. If you have a lot of extra time on your hands and you really want a challenge, we have a 40,000 piece puzzle right here. I think it's something like 29 feet long and 7 feet high. So if you have a spare warehouse, some extra tables, hours and hours and hours of time to spend, you could get something like that. And then there's different ones like this that are collage. This is 1,000 piece. There's a whole bunch of different collages and different things like that. Well, one of my favorites actually is right over here, or used to be over here. Let's see if we can find it. Is it these right here? No. But there's some puzzles that are little cutouts like this, but it's not as big as the moose, but they're little puzzles. There's a 500 piece puzzle that's into like 5 or 6 different birds or fish, something like that. If you're into tanks and history, there's that. There's horses, cats, there's anything under the sun. Anything you could want to do in a puzzle is here and is available. Companies like Cobble Hill, White Mountain, yeah, Ravensburger makes some really good ones. So these are collages of yeah, if you run across here you can see different things. There's some like fantasy type stuff, an older man in a bookstore. There's even Disney themed ones here, so you'll see Toy Story and Bugs Life and a whole bunch of different ones there, collages of them. But even up to here, there's some of the down here. These are 3,000 piece ones, so these are a little bigger. But this is an Animal Kingdom one. And again, any kind of skill level, time level, pictures. It's quite amazing how much jigsaw stuff there is. Now, if you're finding you're doing jigsaws and you don't have room on the table for them, right over here we've got this Porta Puzzle Deluxe, and so it's a carrying case essentially for your puzzle. And you'll see on the pictures here, it opens up and there's little boards inside, so you can sort your puzzles. And then this one will do up to 1,000 piece puzzle on the board, but you can sort the pieces and do it that way. Now, if you finished your puzzle and you want to commemorate the moment, remember it in the future, there's puzzle glue. So there's this one from Eurographics, and this is the puzzle conserver right here. So it's just got an easy applicator tip and you can glue your whole puzzle together. Now, the interesting thing with these is there's a guy, and I showed you that 40,000 piece puzzle big one out there. There's a guy apparently who had put that puzzle together and then he glued it together and put it as a display in like his restaurant or some sort of store location he had. And apparently it just draws people in as a really cool piece. I don't know how big a wall you'd need, obviously 29 feet long. That's a lot of wall space, but if you have some extra wall space and you want to do that puzzle, it's a great feature for your store or home. And then there's different things like this too. Now, I showed you the puzzle mat down there. There's even these little pieces where you can sort the puzzles and put them into trays and save them for later. There's also another option that's a little more compact. It's our puzzle mat. And so you can do that. It's I'm not as big a fan of these because I find it kind of curves the pieces. Maybe if you have a really big puzzle, maybe for smaller ones it's good. I'd get something like these, the big guys down there, because I think it keeps the puzzle flat and it's a little easier to access. But that's some of the jigsaw puzzles.